Hey, shalom, shalom, mishpocha. Welcome to another edition of Ray Bash's Ramblings. I would like to just kind of put out there an idea for homeless ministries. I'm no stranger to homeless ministries. I've been involved in ministries where we go down to the places where the homeless are and we provide food, clothing. I've been in soup kitchens. I've distributed food. I've been in homeless shelters. I've had contact with many, many homeless people. And something happened the other day. My daughter was eating a meal that she didn't particularly like, and she started complaining because one item of food was not up to her standard, and she started whining. And I got upset, and I expressed my displeasure. Afterwards, I brought her down and showed her pictures online of children who are starving in third world countries that have the bloated stomachs, and some of them just look like walking skeletons with skin, and told her how hunger is one of the most painful ways to die, and it really sobered her up. And there is so much waste in North America, in the Western world. There's just so much waste. What restaurants throw away, what delis and bakeries throw away, and a lot of people who will go dumpster diving, middle class people, and will get the stuff that the expiration date's not quite expired, or it's just scratched, kind of like a dented cans and things like that, and they'll go to these places and retrieve them and save a lot of money. It's like they shop for free. There's been documentaries and news reports and stuff done on that. But I was in a situation where we were getting, to a bakery, we're getting baked good and pastries and breads and things of this nature from this local bakery. And all of a sudden they said, we're not allowed to do this anymore because, of lawsuits. So what are you going to do with it? Oh, well, we just have to throw it away. And they throw it in the trash, and it's perfectly good food. And I'm not trying to sound like one of these parents who get all onto their children and stuff. Don't you know there's people starving in Africa? Oh yeah, well, why don't you put it in a mailbox and ship it off to them, if they'll appreciate it so much. There's been jokes and comedians doing that a lot. But what I suggest is maybe there is some kind of waiver, some kind of legal paper that could be signed that relegates the responsibility of the food once it's handed over to a ministry to the ministry itself, and then the ministry can have legal paperwork for the people who they distribute it to sign that they cannot file a lawsuit if they happen to get sick off of the food or whatever. Because that's, we live in such a day and age that everybody's afraid that they're going to get sued for something, so everybody's trying to legally cover their butt, and as a result, we are wasting food, and we are accountable to God for such waste. I mean, what's he going to say when we come to the throne at Judgment Day, and he says, what about all this food? And he may show us all the food that we've thrown away in the Western world, and how many people it could have fed in these third world countries. What we could have done with it. And it's sad how wasteful we are. I was raised that if you can't clean your plate, put plastic wrap over it, put it in the refrigerator, warm it up in the microwave tomorrow. Or if I was stubborn and I didn't want to eat, then I'd go without supper and I would have that for the next day. I would eat it. And sometimes if there's not enough scraps to give away or to do anything with, we compost it or feed it to the animals. So we make sure that every bit of scrap, every bit of food is utilized, and that it's just not wastefully thrown away. And I think if grocery stores and supermarkets and delis and bakeries and such could donate to food kitchens, to food banks, and to ministries that work with the homeless, and have the legal paperwork to say, we're going to give this food to you, but you cannot file a lawsuit against us if somebody gets sick. And then have the ministry have paperwork for the people they minister to sign, like a waiver saying, we are not responsible if you get sick. Of course, you wouldn't use spoiled or moldy food, but usually the stuff that they throw away at these places, it's the expiration date hasn't even passed. And plus, an expiration date doesn't mean it's automatically bad past midnight of that date. It's a best buy date. It's best if you buy it before, but you can still use it after. Until there is positive evidence of spoilage, especially with like the bakeries. A lot of stuff they throw away is like day-old bagels, day-old bread, things that they couldn't sell the day before fresh. And so, this is just wasteful. There's no reason whatsoever why this food should be thrown in the dumpsters and nobody have it. And I think it would be a good asset, a good thing to do if we can get all the legal ramifications worked out, so that we could utilize such food for homeless ministries and for providing for our people after school programs, soup kitchens, homeless shelters, food banks, food pantries. So we could utilize that and provide for the poor right in our own backyard. Because right now, because of the way the economy is, it's amazing how the food banks are bare. The food pantries are bare. They're all the time asking for donations, asking for people to give food, because there's more people that are on welfare, more people that are unemployed, more people that rely on the food pantries and food banks to supplement the food of their family now more than ever. And so this would be such a great thing to do that would help all the way around. So maybe if your calling is homeless ministry, your calling is ministering to the poor, maybe in your area, in your locality, you can get this legal paperwork stuff off the ground and going, so that at least in your area you could utilize the food that's being wasted and thrown away every single day. And it just breaks my heart. And if it breaks my heart, think how much more it breaks God's heart. We're created in His image, and He sees these people that are starving because of evil governments and because of just conditions in these third world countries, because sin was brought into the world, and the free will of man created all this suffering. And the suffering could be alleviated. We could tikkun olam, as we say in Hebrew. We could fix the world if we could utilize that food and take care of the people in our own backyard, and then somehow be able to take the non-perishable food items and ship them overseas to and somehow get past the governments through trustworthy means or ministries, or even smuggle it in for the sake of saving people's lives, of giving them food. So that was just my idea. Thought I'd share it with you. Thanks for watching. Shalom and Shavuot Tov. Bye-bye.